Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to understand the concept of classes and objects. In object-oriented programming, whenever we want to create an object, we need a template that describes the characteristics, features of the object, the actions that an object can do, etc. And simply that template is called as class. So class is nothing but a template, a blueprint, which is required to create an object. And class contains two things. One is the variables that describe different parameters of the object, and second thing is the methods. So let us take an example. Let us go to Eclipse and let us create a class as cars. Okay, and in the class cars, let us create some variables that describe the cars. So I'm going to create first variable as string color, and default color I'm going to provide as white. Second thing, I'm going to create it as make is equal to Honda. Those are the default values. They can be changed when you create the object of this class. Is it necessary to provide these default values? No, you can keep them blank. Okay, it's purely optional. Say third thing, I'm going to create it as the type of the vehicle, and let's call it as SUV. Three basic variables that describes the cars, and let's create a simple method that displays the details of my car. So I'm going to create a public void display details, and in this method I'm simply going to display what kind of car I have. So simply we can use sysout and say I have. We are simply going to concatenate these variables inside a statement to make it like I have a Honda SUV of red color, white color, whatever. Okay, so simply three variables and a method into our first basic class. Now let us see how we can create the object of the class and how we can use it. So for that purpose, let us create a temporary class with the main method. So let's call it as temp, and let's select this public static void main, and we'll understand the importance of main method in the next session. For now, just select main method and click finish. And over here inside the main method of the temp class, let us create the object. Now to create the object of any class, we first need to declare the object. Like we declare a string, like string ABC. We declare a string and then we assign some values, or we can declare and we can assign some initial value at the same time, right? So similarly, we first need to declare the object with respect to the class. So we say that object of cars, say C1, is equal to new cars. Now over here, if you concentrate on this part, this new is the keyword that we use to instantiate the object of any class. Whenever we say new, it means we are instantiating a new object. We are creating a new object of the class. The name of the object is C1. And cars is simply we call the constructor of the class. Concept of constructor we will see in detail in the future sessions. For now, just remember, whenever we want to create the object of any class, we will define it with the class name, and then after the equal to sign we'll use the keyword new, and then we'll call the constructor. That is, it's for now, just remember that constructor is something similar to a method inside the class whose name is exactly similar to the class name. So cars and open close brackets will become the constructor of cars. Okay, so when you create the object, you can use the object and then access the variables and the methods from the class. So let us assign some values. Say color is, I don't want to use the default color, I want to change it to red. Fine. Then I want to change the make to say BMW, and I do not want to change the type. I want it SUV, so I can use the default values as well. Like for the type, we are going to use the default value, that is fine. So with respect to C1, let us call the method that is display details. So what it is going to do, with respect to object C1, what are the details of my car? Now it is going to display. When I run this program, it's going to say I have a BMW SUV of red color. Can we create multiple objects? Yes, absolutely. You can create multiple objects. Say from the same template, I want to create another car. So C2 and say C2 dot color is equal to orange, and C2 dot make is Toyota, and C2 dot type is equal to sedan, and C2 dot display details. So just create another object, and it's like it's going to create the copy of the class cars, and then whatever changes you make to the copy, they will be restricted to copy itself. So any change that we are doing to the variables with respect to C2, that is not causing any changes to the C1 object. And likewise, you can create a number of objects of a class. So that's the benefit of object-oriented programming. When you run this code, these C1 and C2 will run distinctly. So I have a Toyota sedan of orange color. I don't know whether they make it, just for example. Okay, so simple concept of class and object. Create a class, add some features, add some methods, and when you want to create the object, just define the object of the class by using the name of the class, and then use the new keyword to instantiate it, and then call the constructor of the class.